Hello aNF. Alright, so let's focus on strength training. We're going to dabble a little bit into Olympic lifting, but really not really. Okay, it's going to be super short. Matter of fact, this is how short it's going to be. If you're interested in Olympic lifting, my professional, most amazing advice I can give you is to stay away from it unless you are, ready. And what I mean by that is, if you're a beginner, you've never done strength training before, Olympic lifting is not for you. It's extremely ballistic and it requires a lot of stuff that you need to have in order for that to not hurt you, in order for Olympic lifting to not damage your body. And that involves proper flexibility, proper strength, proper power and proper endurance, proper stamina, okay? There's a lot of stuff that goes on technique-wise that a first-timer doesn't know and can't know. Okay, so it's important that if Olympic lifting is what you're looking to get into, it's important that you first start from the beginning and that you're being followed by a professional that knows what he or she are doing. One-on-one professional one-on-one training, okay? Once you go through that, then dabble into the world of Olympic lifting and slowly climb the ladder. Don't be a fool and think that you can handle that from the beginner. And don't be a fool to listen to people that tell you that yes, you can. Just because you're a beginner, you can jump into, deadlifting and, snatches and cleans. You cannot. Please don't do it. All right? Okay, so now that's out of the way, let's go into something that's more for the general public and for me, I'm not a fan of Olympic lifting, and that is strength training, okay? So with strength training, it involves pretty much you exerting constant progressive systematic stress onto your muscle, right? And that is lifting weights, okay? So muscle is a muscle group like your bicep, for example. It consists of bundles of muscle fibers or muscle cells, right? And you contract them and you relax them, and that creates a movement, okay? Now, what most people do not know is that in the when it comes to strength training, the eccentric phase is more important than the concentric phase. So concentric involves you just concentrate, like curling, activating, okay? And eccentric is the opposite, is when the muscle relaxes. It's during the eccentric phase that injury happens the most. And most people's reaction is that when they are relaxing is to completely relax the muscle, and so they flop down. And so it's important not to do that. It's important that your control should be just as much, if not more, on the way down than it is on the way up. Okay? Proper form is extremely important because to not create imbalances, muscular imbalances in your body, your joint have to be stable. Okay? And so when you go and jerk around everywhere, when your form is not super great, then you lose joint mobility. And with joint mobility, you lose postural alignment. And with no postural alignment, your muscular balance sucks, okay? And then that over time creates a horrible combination of underactive and overactive muscles where they should not happen, and then you have an injury in a corner. And when you get injured, everything goes down the drain, okay? And it's not fun, it's painful. All right, so let's talk about hypertrophy, and that is the muscle growth, the term used when the muscle grows in size. All right, so when you go ahead and lift some weights, when you pump some iron, and when that muscle bulks up, it's actually being filled up with water and blood. All right, and it's going to help oxygenate the muscle in action so you can perform, okay? And so that process actually creates micro tear into the muscle fibers, all right? And the repair action through protein synthesis that is done during recovery period, all right, is what gives you the muscle size that you may be seeking out. So it's important that you not only feed yourself the right food, okay, protein rich, and that you also get adequate amount of rest, because protein synthesis happens when you're resting. It doesn't happen when you're actually working out or when you're dozing off, right? It happens when you are sleeping, okay? All right, so I do have my notes here to make sure I stay on track, so please don't judge me, all right? I do have a small brain with all this information. I don't think I can retain most of it, all right? So another big factor when it comes to strength training is safety. And safety is a big deal when you enter this arena, because if you do get injured, everything goes down the drain. I go down the drain, you go down the drain, your injury goes out the drain, you know? It's a stupid joke. I hope you're laughing at home. Okay, so you have to maintain proper form like I mentioned earlier, all right? And there's such thing as compensation and cheating, and they usually fall within a safe parameter, a safe boundary, but it's best if that's being followed or by a professional or administered by a professional. So don't assume what your boundaries are and what your cheating parameters are, all right? Ask, okay? Next is stretching and warming up. So it's important that you warm up before you actually go and lift the weights. All right, so just going from waking up state into picking some weights, all right, that's a disaster. All right, so it's important that you go and warm up first. Okay, and why is that? Because the brain is very important and very essential when it comes to strength training. Okay, it's called neuromuscular efficiency. If your brain does not understand, it cannot recruit the right amount of muscle fibers for the action, and then you have a problem. All right, so warming up kind of wakes it up and says, okay, wake up brain, it's time to go to action. All right, okay, let's see. Breathing is also very important, so you do have to maintain adequate oxygen flow through your body. I've seen it once in my career where someone was lifting and they held their breath. I don't know why, and they passed out. They passed out with weights on them. Now, for those who haven't seen anybody pass out, it's not like in the movies where they go like a tower where they go and pass out backwards. They fall straight down. And when you have weights on you, it's a very fast fall. Okay? It's also very dramatic. All right? So it's important that you keep your breathing and you stay and breathe. Okay? The other thing I want you to focus on is dehydration. All right? So it's important that you stay hydrated, but you don't overdo it. All right. A lot of the time, people they tend to go and hydrate a little too much. You know, like like you don't have to drink all the time. 1 second, I'm working, darling. Thank you. You don't have to hydrate all the time, and so it's important that you refrain from drinking a gallon of water. All right. And lastly, when it comes to strength training, is extremely complex, and so I urge you to really seek out our help and seek out our knowledge and our wisdom. Okay, it's important that you don't just assume that it's okay. All right, double check with us. We will reply. We'll tell you if it's okay. We'll tell you how it works. Okay, so check out aNFtraining.com if you haven't done so for more, and you know, we have so much more there. And please follow us on social media, aNFtraining, okay, on Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, YouTube, Instagram. Did I say Facebook? Maybe I did say Facebook. LinkedIn. We're everywhere. Thanks.